Hello everyone and welcome back to another route learning tutorial video. This one is for the Munich-Augsburg route, which is 62 kilometers and it runs between Munich and Augsburg. Today we are going to be starting on a service from Augsburg and obviously going to be running down to Munich, which is down here. Top line speed is 230 kilometers an hour. So yeah, it's going to be good. This one is basically specifically for the Intercity Express service, or the high speed service, and I'll make a separate one for the S-Bahn at some point. But I've just got in the train only just set up. So what we are going to do is obviously it'll start off like that. You want to put that into forward, and we'll actually get the doors shut. Obviously you want to keep the passengers happy, to get the lights on, and also in this guide we will be doing PZB and LZB as well. AFB, set that to on, that is very much crucial. There we go, and set the destination, which is obviously going to be Munich. So there's a little bit to do in here to set it up, but it won't take long. No, not that one, that one. Set that to Munich. There we go, make sure that's all confirmed. And then what we want to do is set off all the fuses in here, so you've got CIFA, PZB and LZB. Now we've got 49 kilometers to Munich Pazing, but starting off we do want to set the AFB to 40 kilometers an hour. You can see what the AFB is set on by looking at that little speedometer. See that yellow thing going up? That is the AFB. And we will be running HUD off as well for this journey into Germany. Well, no, into Munich. I'm saying into Germany. We'll set that to just normal for now. That's already set to forward. Now the starting speed limit is around 60 odd kilometers an hour, and obviously we'll be raising to 90 fairly shortly as we exit the station. So let's get the HUD off, and I'll see a PZB on. When you first turn it on, you can't go above 45 without releasing it, otherwise the emergency brakes will apply. Anyway, let's get going. So we've got a green over yellow signal which limits us to 45, so you want to acknowledge that. And off we go. Obviously don't go to 45, just stay at 40. The safest thing to do is to stay at 40. So you can see the 85 flashing there just under the speedometer. I'm actually going to acknowledge that. There you go, there's a speed board there, you need to acknowledge that. That was for the 60. Yeah, so full green over yellow signals, acknowledge them too. For double yellows, acknowledge them. For warning boards, acknowledge them. You'll see them all in this journey today. So you can see the 85 flashing. That doesn't mean PZB is monitoring us at the moment, but soon enough we'll be able to grip it and rip it and get up to 90 before LZB does begin really very shortly. So you've got CIFA, so you want to press Q on your keyboard for that. And in fact we are now going to go up to 90, as I believe the back of the train has cleared the points. So going up to 90. That's not far until it actually raises again. You have to be quite careful because there seems to be a bit of a delay of the AFB and the speedometer. That's on 100, so I put that down one. There we go. So we're now raising our speed up to 90. I believe it does go up to 150 at this speed board coming up here. Yeah, that's the 150. So what we are going to do is then set that to 150. And LZB begins very shortly anyway, so there's probably not really much point, but we'll do that anyway. There we go, it's on 150. LZB should begin basically just going through the station. There you go. So what you want to do is put the AFB to max, make sure the throttle's on max, and then there's nothing ready to do for the remainder until you get just towards Munich Pazing. There's not much to do. So from here, the only thing you really need to worry about is the CIFA. That's the only thing you need to do. So we're going to accept that, there we go. Yeah, so not much to do for the remainder until we get towards Munich Pazing, as we are under LZB control. Obviously the top speed for this upcoming section will be 230. It goes up to 200, then up to 230. Obviously if you are driving on this route, you should be driving with LZB. There's no point driving without it, as well, that's not realistic. Bit safer again. Yeah, so what I am going to do is be quiet, as there's not really much for me to say at this point, apart from, we'll let Elsa do all the work. You'll hear me doing the CIFA, but I'll see you in about 10 minutes time. So yeah, you can skip if you want, as Elsa B's taking control. I'll list the speeds for when we raise and lower, but yeah, I'll see you all in about 10 minutes. Right, well, now I'm back. We are now about to pass Mammendorf, which is obviously where the S3 or the S-Bahn line kind of begins. So we might get a few FPS drops as we do near, when S-Bahn trains load in. But yes, that was kind of the main bit of LZB where really not much is going on. And it won't be long now until we do have to start bringing the speed down, and when PZB does re-enable itself. But it's not too far now until it does turn off, and it's not even too far now until we get to Munich Pasing. So the speed at this current point is 230 kilometers an hour, and you can see we're going down to 200. Well, you can see on the bar graph there. In quite some time it does come down. About 7 kilometers. So we still can run at this kind of speed for quite a while. Yeah, so it might not be the most detailed routing tutorial, I know about that, but I've listed the speeds. Obviously it's also to PZB and LZB as well, a little tutorial on that as well. Hopefully that does help out as well. Obviously at the moment there's not really much to do in terms of, well, you saw how I put an LZB and you'll see how I end the LZB, but you already will see how PZB works when we do get towards Munich. So soon enough we should get a G show up on just under the speedometer, and that will mean we are within the kind of braking curve, so we will start slowing down. So we're just going over one of the regional express tracks there. Right, so you can see the G has now showed up, so we are starting to slow down now. So it should be 200 we're slowing down to now. Then down to 160 or so. Well, it looks as if we are now down to 200, and obviously LZB only really works, well, LZB only comes in after 160 kilometers an hour. Below 160 we are on PZB. So as you can see now the bar graph's gone up again and now says 160 kilometers an hour. And so once we get below 160, PZB comes back on. I really do think this line should be capable of 250 kilometers an hour, as it's really straight on some of those bits. I just don't know why it isn't 250, to be honest. Someone could put in the comments why it's not 250. It seems fully capable to do 250. Maybe even higher. Right, LZB is about to end, so you want to press end or PZB release, which we'll find on the dash, and then you want to put the AFB and throttle down to off and 0, and then you want to get on this screen. You can turn on the HUD for this, it's easier, and set that to off. And now that is all you need to do at the moment. and obviously you'll find actually Pisa be released, one of those two there. So we've just got to wait until we hit the buzz for LZB to end, and then we'll be on the PZB. Right, there you go, PZB has now just re-enabled. So what we are going to do is now go back onto the screen here and put on AFB again, obviously getting the AFB back up to 160, which you're going to be fairly quick about. That should be on it. There we go. Yes, we're now on the PZB monitoring again, and the speed is 160. And then the speed should decrease down to 130 kilometers an hour as we do approach Munich Pasing. And it basically says it's 130 most of the way to Munich, where it goes down then to 60 and then down to 40. So at the moment we're all good at 160. Obviously now you do need to acknowledge warning boards, signals and all that. Obviously under LZB we did not have to do that, but now you have to acknowledge most things. Obviously apart from greens. But you'll see how it's done. I think soon enough we should be coming up to a 130 warning board. Obviously we'll have to acknowledge that and then get down to 130. That should be coming up very shortly. And you'll know what a warning board is, because it's that. Coming down to 130, it's a orange triangle. There we go, now at 130. Yeah, so the warning board is an upside down triangle. It can even be just a usual triangle, orange background and black writing on it. And we are now approaching Munich Pasing. It doesn't actually tell you when you are approaching it. And sometimes you'll get signals saying your numbers, saying get down to that speed limit. So what you want to do is start bringing the speed limit down, as we are now on the approach to Munich Pasing. You can see the station about to render in now. Speed obviously is still 130, so you could go into the station at 130, but obviously you won't be able to stop. So bringing that down, we'll keep the AFB at 130. We'll aim to enter the platform about 50 kilometers an hour, and we're going right to the end of the platform as well. Yeah, sorry for any FPS drops, we are recording this on a console. Yeah, so quite a lot of these services actually run fast through here, but I thought I'd do on what stops and, you know, when about to start braking for the station and all that. Yeah, coming into Munich Pasing now. A couple of S-Bahn trains over there, both going in the same direction. It's right to the end. I can hear an S-Bahn train accelerating next to us. Yeah, so the brakes aren't too bad. I'll stop on the H. Here we are, this is Munich Pasing, or Munchen Pasing. So open the doors up, and I'll see you all in a second when we are ready to leave. Right, so we are now closing the doors at Munich Pasing. The speed limit will still remain at 130 until we do approach Munich Hbf, but it will decrease down to 60, and then to 40, and then down to 30. Right, get the brakes off, throttle on, and off we go. So now leaving Munich Pasing. Obviously, if you were at a red light, say that signal back there at Munich Pacing was a red light, you would have to stay at 20 until you get past. It probably would have gone to green by the time the doors were shut, and then you would be restricted to 25, so you would have to unrelease yourself. Obviously in this case it was green. But I have made a few PZB guides, so do look back through the Train Simulator 2 playlist and you should be able to find some. Yeah, but it's only about 5 kilometers now to Munich Hbf, which obviously does go quite fast. So about to go under the S-Bahn tracks, and we'll end up on the right hand side. And then this is basically where the throw into Munich Hbf does kind of begin. All the tracks start, joining up together. But there's no speed drops yet. That's when we get towards the kind of ice train depot wash, is when it goes down to 60, then down to 40, and as we're entering the platform it does go down to 30 kilometers an hour. I say apologies again for the FPS drop. There's quite a lot of AI around here, and obviously lots of buildings to render in. So what I'm actually going to do at this point is actually just get the throttle off, as we don't really need it from here on out. Safer. And we're going to get ready. I don't know what's going on with that train there, but we're going to get ready to come down to 60 kilometers an hour, which you'll see not this overhead bit here, but in the next one you'll see it in the top right of it. So what we are going to do is start bringing that down. Bring it down to 60. You see it there? There was a little black triangle of a 6. So you want to bring it down to 60 pretty swiftly. You're going to get below 85 within 23 seconds, as we do have a 1000 Hertz magnet. So we're bringing that down now. There you go, we're now at 60, and now we have to wait, and it will go down to 40. Get the AFB set to 60 if we can. There you go, that's all good. And the next speed change will be down to 40. And it does look as if we are coming up to a red light, which you don't usually actually get around here. Yeah, I should have mentioned about the yellow. I'm pretty surprised myself we are going to be sat here. Hopefully it's not glitched in any way, but usually you don't actually, sit here. It's quite unusual. But you can see the 40 warning board there. Let's quickly actually just have a little look to see if there is any trains in there. I haven't had this before. I suppose maybe one of them will be leaving. But yeah, I've never stopped at this point. Oh, there's one leaving there, going into the depot. But as you are approaching a red light, you'll obviously get a 500 Hertz magnet. So you need to be down to 20 pretty soon before the red signal. And in fact, at the moment we've still got a 500 Hertz magnet, so what we need to do is set that down to 20. And we will be restricted to 20 until we have cleared the signal. So do not go above 20, 25, otherwise the brakes will come on. We've also got a green over yellow, over 6 minutes, so we can go up to 60, but we won't as we've got the 40 warning board, so you're going to acknowledge that. There you go. And we've now got a 1000 Hertz magnet. So in fact now we can go up to 40, or so we can't go above 45, otherwise the brakes will come on. That should then go up. Was it delayed again? Yeah, it's delayed again. yeah, coming into Munich Hbf now. Yeah, hopefully everyone has found this route learning tutorial fairly handy. I know it's fairly basic. I mean, I'm still getting to learn the route, but I thought I know this bit off by heart now, so I may as well do it. So hopefully it has helped out. Obviously, if it has helped out, do put, I don't know, red in the comments or something like that. Even if you're watching up to this point, put red in the chat. Here's the 40 limit beginning, and it will go down to 30 as we do enter the platform. You can see an S-Bahn service over there. And I believe it's to Munich Hbf or something. Safer. No, crossing all the tracks here. Gone quite far over. Right, so we're now going to bring it down to 30 as we do enter the platform. Oh, we might actually bring it down to 20, but it is 30. There seems to be at the moment a little delay of the AFB needle. You can see the little 30 board there, so we'll acknowledge that once we have passed it. Right, so acknowledge you have seen that. And now coming into Munich Hbf. So we just have travelled 62 kilometres in around probably about half an hour. So quite a fast route, quite enjoyable doing the ice on there. I really do recommend it, and hopefully obviously this video has helped out in some way. Right, I'll try not to crash into the buffers to finish it off. Lovely train station, Munich. Obviously not the, you know, best looking, but it is pretty incredible. Put the brakes on. And here we are at Munich Hbf. So hopefully that has helped out some people, hopefully. Yeah, that is it. That is the Intercity Express high-speed run between Augsburg and Munich, all the speed limits and all that. Obviously, if you would like to see the S-Bahn one, do comment below. I probably will be making that at some point. But that is it. Thanks all for coming in. Hopefully you have enjoyed, and I hopefully will see you in the next one. Bye everyone, and take care.